What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt Toville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning David Benavidez. Artur Beterbiev, get this. According to David Benavidez states that right now, I'm in a position where my opportunity is in the form of a freaking Russian monster. So I can't say no if they offer me the fight. I can't say no. David Benavidez via Fight Hype. And let me counterpunch. Right now, I can't say no. Right now, I can't say no. Right now, I can't say no. That's what David Benavidez is saying, right? First of all, that's the fight that I want. That's the fight that I've always wanted. And should I say always wanted, was a fight that I've been wanting a long time, in other words, right? Why do I say that? Well, it's easy. Because if you guys go back, okay, 5 years, COVID, hot, thick, killing people left and right, people inside, social distancing, all that stuff was around at the time. Give you the background familiarity of what was happening. David Benavidez missed weight at 168 and then was offered to fight Artur Beterbiev at 175. But then he turned it down. I don't know if you guys can remember that. Oh, he turned that shit down real quick. When Artur Beterbiev was 34, 35 years of age, okay, well, he had to be 35 because his birthday is on the 21st of January, right? So he turned that shit down and then continued to, burn calories, pounds, or whatever at 168 to make the weight. But he did not go to 75 until, a couple years ago. And then since then, he fought Vosnik, which Beterbiev stopped. And he fought David Morel, right? And that was a pretty good fight, which he got dropped. So now, right now, he says that I can't say no. This would be spot on. And I'm proud of David Benavidez because, he could have ducked Artur for a while. He could have kept ducking him. But I can't... I want to see the fight, but I can't be too happy about David Benavidez taking on Artur now. Why? Because he's 40 years old. That's why. And a 40-year-old Artur versus a 35-year-old Artur is two different people, I believe. Hopefully I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. But hopefully, I think that Artur still has a couple good fights left. But realistically, I think the best Artur we've seen was the one that beat Bivol, was the only person that beat Bivol in his professional career. Now, needless to say, Bivol has beat him back, but you can tell a dip in the performance, okay, and the athleticism in Artur in the second fight. It was almost like the age started knocking Father Time, start ringing that bell around round 9 or around 8 or 9. Because Artur wasn't doing the things that he was doing in the first fight by beating and battering Bivol around the ring, as Bivol in between was showing his ass hell in high water at the same damn time. So it was a good fight, but we seen a dip in activity when it came to punches thrown versus cutting off the ring versus his aggression level. All that changed from the first fight to the second fight. Now, I think that David Benavidez taking on Artur Beterbiev right now is smart. Because I think, if anything, at any time, he has a better chance to fighting Artur is now. And I think they were smart because if he would have fought him and went up to that level and that limit at that time, which he's never been, by the way. So keep in mind, I don't know if it was a dumb decision, but it was definitely a smart one, right? But it doesn't make it the bravest one. Okay, so you have to look at it like that too. It might have been a smart decision, but it may not have been the bravest decision to fight Artur Beterbiev at age 35 when he was however old he is right now. I think he was maybe 26, 27. I don't know how old he is. No, matter of fact, he had to be like 23 because more than likely he might have been beat. But who's to say he can't be beat now when Artur is 40? Because one thing about David Benavidez, he is not a Dmitry Bivol. He doesn't move like Dmitry Bivol. His hands are just as fast, but his foundation doesn't move like that. That footwork, that Bruce Lee-like footwork that Bivol has, David don't. Don't keep me wrong. He's not a cement-footed fighter. I'm not trying to take away from David. He just doesn't fight like Dmitry Bivol. So taking on the possibility of taking on Artur now, by the time he fights him, he's now fighting a 41-year-old. So I think the problem is I would rather see David fight Artur now versus wasting time with these other fights that Artur don't have. I don't think he has the time to beat the shit out of Dion Nicholson and then go through another training camp to get ready for David Benavidez. You see what I mean? He just only gets older and it only gets harder. You know what I mean? Because conditioning is a mother. And also keep in mind that Artur is, I believe, in that pedigree and in those training camps, I think they're much more strenuous than regular or other fighters from other countries. You know what I mean? I think they go above and beyond when it comes to conditioning, kind of similar to Usyk or Volchnik or Lomachenko, because they do different stuff there. You know what I mean? And I would like to see that. I just don't want David Benavidez to fight a weathered, worn version of a guy that he could have fought earlier with a greater challenge because he was in more shape and he was in more fit and Father Time was not ringing the bell. But you guys tell me what you think of David Benavidez stating that the next fight, more than likely, possibly, is the Russian monster, Artur Beterbiev. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.